Hello everyone, my name is Don, the movie reviewer, and today we're going to be talking about It Chapter 2!
For 27 years, I dreamt of you. I craved you. I've missed you. Hello.
It Chapter 2 is the sequel to the remake of It that was released in 2017. There was an original movie, I don't remember what year it came out, but there was an original movie that came out with Tim Curry who played Pennywise, and I remember that movie being scary for its time. The It remake from 2017, I remember I did a review on that. I watched the movie and I said it was good, but the more and more I watched the 2017 version, the more the goodness of that movie diminishes for me. Because just a quick recap, the 2017 It movie started off really great, and then as it progressed, it just kind of fizzled and just became a scare tactic movie because it was confusing as to what Pennywise's purpose was and how his powers actually worked, because he kills the kid at the beginning and then later on he's just terrorizing these kids, and it's like, okay, are you trying to scare them or are you trying to eat them? I'm confused. But overall, It 2017 was a pretty effective horror movie, and I still think it's good, just not as good as when I first saw it. Jump ahead 2 years later to 2019, and we have the adult version of The Losers Club. We have Jessica Chastain, who plays Beverly Marsh. We have James McAvoy, who plays Bill. We have Bill Hader, who plays Richie. We have Isaiah Mustafa, who plays Mike. We have Jay Ryan, who plays Ben. We have James Ranson, who plays Eddie. And we have Eddie Bean, who plays Stanley. James Ranson, who plays Eddie in this movie, was he was the standout for me in this entire thing, and also the younger version of himself, because this movie does have some flashbacks that go back to the younger version of the Losers Club, and we see Jack Dylan Grazer, the kid who played the younger version of Stanley in the first movie. We see him, and in the flashbacks at the beginning of this movie, he's a bit of a dick, and he's very rude. And when I see these flashbacks and I see the younger version of the Losers Club, it brings back all of those fresh memories from the 2017 movie, because I liked the kids in that movie. And in this movie, at the beginning, I was a little taken back because they were very mean and rude to each other and had me saying, what the fuck is going on here? And as the movie progressed, you can see the chemistry between the young kids and how it seems like they're really friends as characters in the movie, and I thought it was a joy. I thought all the child actors did a fantastic job in this movie, along with their adult counterparts. But some of the adult counterparts stuck out more for me than others, like James Ranson. He stuck out to me in this movie because there were multiple scenes in here where the actor showcased the character's personality in a unique way. Like, there were multiple scenes in this movie, especially towards the end, where he had these little mannerisms that the younger character had, and I thought that that was very unique, and I liked the fact that the director or the actor or they just collaborated on that and decided to give the character this little bit of personality that kind of brought the characters together. Like, there was a shot that the director caught in here, and it was fantastic, where we see the older version of Eddie walking down a hall, and we see the younger character kind of blend in with the older character, and they mesh together, and I thought that was very well done. And this actor, this character, was just great. Like, I love this character in this movie, and he's the actor is fantastic, the character is fantastic, the younger actor is fantastic, this character overall, everything that has to do with this character, this actor, the older actor and the younger actor, blending all that together, fantastic. All of the other adult actors in here, like Jessica Chastain, They were serviceable, like James McAvoy. He did a good job. He had his moments in this movie. Bill Hader, he did a good job. He had his moments in this movie. Everybody had their moments in this movie. The adult actors all had their time to shine. Like, there is a scene that I really enjoyed in this movie when all of the adult versions of the Losers Club are at a restaurant. They're sitting at the dinner table and they're just shooting the shit and hanging out. At first, the scene felt odd to me because it just felt staged and it kind of felt phony, and the way some of the actors were delivering their lines, it just kind of felt like staged, like they were acting. I didn't feel the reality of the situation until, they all started laughing, started drinking, and then the movie's playing music to get you sucked into the moment, and I was sucked into the moment. And as they're just shooting the shit and hanging out, they start looking at their fortune cookies, and their fortune cookies come alive with these weird, disgusting looking creatures. Like, one looked like a bird that just wasn't supposed to be born yet, and it was gross. And then there's like one that was an eye, and it was a human eye, and it scared Bill Hader's character, and it was just very gross, disturbing, nasty stuff, and it was great. Then there's another scene that I can think of where there was a big spider-like creature that had a human head, but it had spider legs and everything, which was very disturbing. And I put myself in that mind state. If I were to see that happen in reality, even in just a dream, that shit is terrifying. But there is one negative thing I can say about a lot of these scares here, and it's that there's so many just scenes that are supposed to be disturbing and terrifying, but yet it doesn't feel like it's for the characters. It feels like it's for the audience. It feels like every single scare, every single gross, disturbing thing that happens in this movie that is supposed to terrify the characters, which it does, doesn't seem like it's for the characters, it's for the audience to be scared. It feels like this is constructed to manipulate the audience into believing the circumstances that these characters are going through, but then I feel like there are no stakes involved here because I don't know the rules of the situation. Like, how are they supposed to stop Pennywise? How does Pennywise even gain his power? Is he supposed to lure the people in and then kill him, and then he's like Freddy Krueger, he feeds off of their fear, and that's how he becomes more powerful? But to me, either I'm dumb or the movie doesn't make it clear as to how Pennywise is able to kill people, because this is the problem in the first movie. It's like he kills people like just right away. Like, there's a scene where there's this boy and he's in the mirror maze, and James McAvoy's trying to get to him, but he can't, so Pennywise just eats him and kills him. But then when he's facing the Losers Club, it's like he's toying with them this whole time. It's like, is he relishing in that moment? Is he enjoying it too much, where because he's like drooling out the mouth when he's about to eat kids, which looks disgusting. But it's like when he's facing the Losers Club, he's scaring them with all these things, like, oh, I'm gonna scare you with this, I'm gonna scare you with that, and then you run away. And it's like, dude, earlier in the movie, you didn't even try to scare the little girl. You just lured her in and was like, oh, people don't want to play with Pennywise the clown, and she's like having sympathy for him, like, oh, I'll help you, people make fun of me too. And he lures her in and he eats her. But then with the Losers Club, he's just like, oh, I'm gonna scare you with these things so you can run away and I can't eat you. And then later on, he stabs one of the Losers Club members in the back, and I'm like, okay, so wait a minute. I assume that you couldn't attack them because they weren't afraid of you. If they're afraid of you, then you can attack them. But then clearly that's not the case. He can kill him whenever he wants to, but for some reason he decides to toy with them. And it's just really, I don't get it. I don't understand what the rules and regulations are for this universe to even exist. I haven't read the books, so I don't know if this movie's accurate to the books, but from judging the movie on its own merit, none of this shit makes any sense to me. Overall, my emotional rating for this movie is it's okay. It's an okay movie. I love Eddie Ranson in this movie as the adult version of Eddie. I love seeing the younger versions of the Losers Club returning here because they have really good chemistry with each other. They play off each other really well. The gross out moments were very disturbing and gross, so they hit the right spots. Stellan Skarsgård, who plays Pennywise, was magnificent in his role. Mwah, mwah, mwah. He's fantastic as Pennywise in this movie is absolutely terrifying. The director captures Pennywise in these unique moments. Like there's this one scene where Pennywise is talking to this girl. I think she has a mole or a birthmark on the side of her face. He's talking to her, and then he's like captured a firefly or something, and there's this light that's highlighting his face, but it's keeping the rest of him in the dark. And that moment was beautiful to look at, and it was terrifying because of the acting from Stellan Skarsgård. And I felt bad for that little girl. I did not want her to be attacked by Pennywise. Other than that, this movie is okay. Like I feel like the disturbing stuff and the scares is as gross and as disturbing and weird as it is. It's not effective enough to make me care about what's happening. And then I don't understand the rules of this world. I don't understand how Pennywise kills people. Like, does he gain power from fear? Can he kill at will? Does he need to scare you to kill you? Does he lure you in? Does he just toy with you? He treats everybody differently, but yet it's like, what is his point? What is his deal? What is his purpose? I don't know. So therefore, as the movie keeps going, I'm like, I just don't care anymore. And now this is boring. And yes, you've got some good moments in here with these gross out things, but it's still boring to me because it doesn't do anything. And then it's not until the end of the movie where I become more emotionally invested and everything gets tied together. But then experiencing, this entire movie from the beginning, it's great. And then in the middle, it's very boring. And at the end, that's when it elevates itself again and becomes good. But this whole middle portion just drags out too long, and it's kind of boring, and I don't care. And it's an okay movie. This is just, man, I was really looking forward to this. I really wanted this to be good, but to me, it's not. It's okay. It's not something I would watch again. It's not scary. It's gross and disturbing in certain moments, but then it doesn't feel like it's doing anything for the movie, except like, how can we come up with a creative moment that's going to gross out the audience? But then it's not effective enough. It's effective in the moment, but then later on, it's like, who cares? And I don't care. This movie's, it's okay. It's okay. That's all I have to say. So as always, thank you for watching, and I will talk to you next time. See, here's the problem I have with a lot of movies these days is I agree with, you know what? It's like this. There's something I have, like, how do I say this? I feel like modern horror movies today, no, wait, I feel like modern horror movies are not scary. There aren't any more scary movies. I don't even remember the last time I saw a movie that scared me.